So today is, or not today, but this month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm obviously not at the range. Ammo is running low, so if there's an ammo sponsor out there, feel free to reach out. And also gas is insanely expensive, so it costs like $100 just to go to the range and back. But I wanted to take some time, talk about something that I think is very important, because I think there's a lot of people out there that feel like they can't talk about this kind of stuff, and I think that's wrong. That's definitely an old school way of thinking. It's 2026. And I just wanted to say that if you're a dude out there who's struggling with something, I want you to know that you are 100% validated in being angry or sad. Whatever the fuck happened in your past, you are 100% right to feel that way. And I think not enough men are told that, because we are told to get over it. We are told no one's coming to save you. We are told deal with it yourself, or whatever the common trope might be. But it's important to remember that, you have friends out there that will listen. The people that won't listen, those are not friends. Those are acquaintances. Put them in one category, but then you have your friends who actually give a fuck about your mental health and your well-being and your future. Those are the ones that will want to listen. And it's very important to take the time and talk about the shit that's fucking with you, right? To kind of give you an analogy or metaphor, think of it like having a car. And you're driving your car, there's mosquitoes everywhere. You're driving your car, and all of a sudden this fucking just grinding noise, this loud grinding noise just appears. Is it more beneficial for you to pull into the closest dealership and just replace the fucking car? No. Is it important, or is it more important to just ignore the problem and just drive it? Let the grinding get louder and louder and louder? No, it's not. With us men being logical thinkers and problem solvers, getting out and working on the car is the most important way to get around this. It's the most important way to make progress with your mental health. And you may even have to call a friend, right? You may have to call a friend to come over and have a beer, smoke a cigar, whatever, as you're working on and diagnosing this fucking car. And once you tear down everything, once you get to the root cause and you're looking at the problem right in its face, because you've gone through all these other steps of getting there, you can say, I know it. I know what the problem is. It's that right there. I'm going to buy the new part. I'm going to replace it. Cool, no more grinding noise. And then you drive off, and guess what? The car works fine again. But it's not to say that you forget about what it was like when that grinding noise was there, right? It's not to say that it wasn't nothing, but you know now that if that ever happens again, you know how to fix it. And the fruits of your labor is not with the car being fixed and driving perfectly fine again. The fruits of your labor are actually the knowledge of getting to that point of making the car work again. Because I think we look at our mental health problems as, well, if I could just fix it with this, then it'll be fine. Well, that's not the point. Being able to diagnose, talk to yourself, or talk with a therapist, or talk with a friend, and diagnose and get to the root cause, just like you did with the grinding noise on the car, that's the important part. Because inevitably, what's going to happen is another part on the car is going to break. Because we're human, right? That's the way life works. You don't go through one tough thing and then the rest of life is gravy. It's a series of tough things. That's unfortunately the human condition. And so by maintaining or by exercising that ability to diagnose the problem, when that new issue comes into play, you have the tools to try to figure it out because of the things you've dealt with in the past. And more importantly, if you're driving along and you hear somebody else's fucking, wheel bearing grinding, you can get out and help them as well. And I think that's the most important part, because if us men feel like we're isolated I think a lot of that comes from our own individual inability to diagnose these issues. And then so when we see these issues with other people, we don't have the tools to diagnose, so we don't even try. And I think it's important that if we all become experts in diagnosing our own issues on our own cars, that then allows us to help others diagnose theirs when they might not have the knowledge to figure it out. And then that passing of the knowledge helps them figure it out. And I'm not that old. I'm in my mid-30s. And I think I've been through a few events in my life that have definitely stuck around. Not to get too deep into them on fucking YouTube, obviously, but it was one after the other. And I spent a lot of time not diagnosing those problems until later on in my life. And if I would have just taken the fucking time to figure it out, I think a lot of my stress would have been reduced, and I think I would have been able to avoid a lot of the things that I ran into later on. And I'm kind of going through right now. I don't want to be in Washington. This is a beautiful place, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be here. I don't feel at home here. I've got great friends here, that's for sure, and I'm very thankful for them, but I don't feel at home here. I don't want to be here. I want to be back in Arizona. That's why the CitraLube, I push it so much, is because not only am I very proud of what I built, which gives me a little bit of a mental health boost every now and again, but being able to go back to Arizona and do that much more than I am here, I feel like would help my mental health, because again, it's, running a business, it's the same thing as fixing the car. It's a constant diagnosis of issues and trying to fix it. Issue, try to fix it. Issue, try to fix it. And through fixing those problems, I gain a lot of confidence in my ability to handle issues as they come in the future. But I will say, being here is very stressful. It's not fun for me mentally. And so, I don't want that to take a dark turn in my videos of me being overly negative. But again, this is just going to say that you as a man, you can say what bothers you. You don't have to fucking stuff it down. You can always say what bothers you. And the people who give a fuck about your mental health will validate that. They'll say, yeah, that fucking sucks. That's stupid. They're not going to say, no, you're wrong, you're stupid, don't feel that way. And so, again, I just wanted to kind of pop in here, make a quick video. I don't know if it's quick, I can't see the timer. But it's important, again, to know that people do have your back. Talk to them, diagnose those issues. More importantly, get out and fucking fix your car.